Everybody, welcome to another episode of the According to West podcast, where we believe to live is to suffer, and to survive is to find something or find some meaning in that suffering, especially when it's time to tell our wives what to eat. As always, got me, Wes. You know what that's like, man. Fucking asking you to, where you want to eat at? And you run through 8 different things, and it's just like no to everything. And it's just like, yo,
just to circle,
I'm gonna go someplace, figure it out.
Just to circle back to the original place.
Yeah. All the time. It's an everyday thing. Even if you taking food out to eat, like what we eating. I don't know, some pork chops in there. This in there.
I mean, I'm not even that hungry. Then why are we trying to cook? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. But as always, we got DeLaw.
Yep. You got DeLaw, the dominant center on 2K between me and Wes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you feel like 25-year-old you will be happy with where you are in your career right now?
25-year-old me.
Mm-hmm.
First, I gotta remember where 25-year-old me was.
Don't tell me all the drinking fucked that up.
No, I want to say 25-year-old me had, I want to say, just been let go by the feds. I crashed my car. I crashed my Impala over the summer before I turned 25. I got my Altima when I turned 25. I don't think so. I think it'll be more of a shock.
So 25-year-old wouldn't be happy? It'll be
I think it'll be more of a shock. Because 25-year-old me would have thought I'd have been with somebody else, along with doing a different career choice as far as...
I say career specifically. I ain't say nothing about romance.
I'm just saying. I'm just looking at the whole picture. All
right, whole picture, I guess.
Whole picture. 25-year-old me will probably be shocked that this is the route that I took, or that this is what I'm doing, because most days I still can't believe that I'm a state employee, because it's not what I thought I was going to be doing.
So shocked in a good way or shocked in a bad way?
Shocked in a, did I not do good enough in school to get to where I want to be at? But then when I'm looking at how the kids are now, I'm probably better off. I would have to come back and explain to 25-year-old me why we not in the school system teaching. I would have to go back and explain to them that the kids were.
So 25-year-old you was like, yo, you gonna be a teacher.
Yeah, 25-year-old me gonna be a teacher. 25-year-old me was not going to be inventory or logistics for any reason, because I had no clue what it was back when I was 25.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I had no clue what the fuck that shit was. But
True.
I would say not necessarily disappointed or happy, just more shocked. Like, then it'd be like, well, you couldn't get back.
You explain. So let's just say you said you go back and you say, yo, I'm gonna have to explain to 25-year-old DeLaw, like, yo, this is why you're not in the school system. How does 25-year-old DeLaw take that information?
25-year-old DeLaw, how does he take it? He takes it as, so the kids are that bad? Okay, cool. I'm glad we made that choice. Well, how come I can't get back to the feds? That would be because, like I said, at 24, I just got to let go from the feds. So a 25-year-old me is walking around on unemployment, right? Trying to get back into the feds. So the question that 25-year-old me would have would be like, so how come we didn't make it back into the feds? Like, were we that bad? Like, I had to explain, like, man, look, our resume was some cold garbage trying to get a real job in the feds. And somehow or another, we ended up in the state after working logistics at a warehouse. Probably me be like, I worked in a fucking warehouse? What the hell would you mean? I would have to explain and sit myself down and concentrate.
So you gonna sit yourself down, toss you a drink. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got some stuff.
25-year-old me. Oh, look, 25-year-old me. I was in my prime with the drinking.
Jeez Louise.
That's back when we were still drinking Bad Decision. You know what I'm saying? And we only called it that because we knew it was cheap ass vodka. It was like $10 for a handle, and you knew when you woke up in the morning, you made a bad decision.
I think what I would probably, as far as like career, 25-year-old me would be somewhat I don't know. I think 25-year-old me would have some questions too, because it's kind of like, yo, you got to a point of you're in the field, but how come you ain't go further? Or how come how come you didn't go further? Or how come you're not making this amount of money? I already know that's what 25-year-old me is gonna say. Computers are the future. Everyone said computers are the future. You are part of the future. Why aren't you making future money?
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta explain that shit to him.
Right.
Like, yo,
it should be like that.
I gotta explain, like, yo, what I thought would get me by could not get me by. This computer shit, I should have started way before college.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the resources to start way before college, nor did I have the influences and mentors, because it was kind of like a new but not new thing. Like nowadays, you could probably bump into like your son, for example. You could probably bump into somebody that's in cybersecurity or IT or something like that. Like it ain't nothing. When we were young, you not bumping into someone just by happenstance that did that stuff. Like especially not in our community. So it's a lot of stuff I would have been like, yo, start doing this now, because there's a lot of stuff at 25 that I wasn't doing. I would have been like, yo, start doing this now, and in 5 years, you know, you gonna be you gonna be that nigga.
No, see,
you gonna be that nigga.
that, 25-year-old me. If I told him every choice I've made to get to where I am now,
I ain't talking about every choice. I'm just saying, yo.
See, I'm talking about as far as like work choice.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Choice. You made before he even makes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't I? Well, yeah, this ain't go this way and blah blah blah. Like, well, did I do this? No, you didn't do that. No. Like it just be one of them things where it's just like, look, we made the best choices that we could make to get us to where we are. I can't tell myself, man, just be happy. That's what we got to. Like, I can't say that to my 24-year-old self. I can say we could have made better choices in college to help us. I could say we could have made better choices when we worked for the feds. That 25-year-old me, if I had made better decisions and did what I was supposed to versus, not follow. Well, I mean, I followed the rules, but it was, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
But it'd have been, probably would have been different. 25-year-old me might have still been in the feds. Or I might have ended up like my cousin who was at Department of Treasury once he graduated college. And they said, well, thank you for your service. Best of luck in your future endeavors. The same shit could have happened to me.
Yeah.
So, never know.
Yeah, I think I would also probably tell my, just based off of what I know now, that the life society tried to program us with was already dying before we even hit high school. Like it was a real thing at one point in time, but that was like, it was a real thing with our parents. It wasn't a real thing with us. Like, oh, go get an internship, go do this, go do that. Like internships wasn't abundant.
They were trying to sell me
Get a
on the
good
teaching journey.
GPA. Get a good GPA. GPAs don't mean shit.
Yeah, like they tried to sell me on the teaching career. They was like when I go do my student teaching, they were like, "Oh yeah, by the time you get in here, they'll be making at the very least 70K."
No,
And I'm like, because
no,
right now we're making 45 to 50 just coming in, and by the time you get in, you'll be making 70. Them
no.
motherfuckers ain't making no goddamn 70
They
right
still
now.
make
They're still making about 50, 55. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, man, I said, and not that I dodged a bullet, because I think when I was originally getting in, the kids were still manageable. And if you get in at the right time while they're still manageable, your reputation goes around the school of either you're just as hard ass teacher, or that you're like somebody like, hey yo, he's cool. Like don't make no waves, but I'm like he gonna look out. Now you get them motherfuckers a centimeter. They try to take a whole football field. You be like, all right, look, I'm gonna let that slide. Next thing you know, they coming in 40 minutes like, oh, I thought you was gonna let it slide again. No, nigga, they gonna let that just
I can't do that. When you gonna learn?
right. It's just there's always something, man. So I think, as far as state government, I think it'll be shocked. I think the tutoring, I wouldn't be shocked because I was already tutoring. The thing would be, so I started a business. Oh, okay, cool. All right, well, it ain't that bad. Am I like making hundreds, thousands of dollars? No. That'd probably be like the damn, like, nigga, like
What we doing?
what we doing?
Yeah, that's probably what mine 25-year-old self would be like too. Like what we doing? Like you saying high school, like society ain't what it was or life ain't what it was like they said it was gonna be. I'm just like, yo, you didn't get no internship. You didn't start off at no prestigious organization and stuff like that. Like those internships are not a dime a dozen, or those places to work for is very highly competitive. All the good jobs are competitive. And that's what no one that's what they don't say to you. Like, oh yeah, you're good at a good job. Good lawyers a good profession. This is a good profession. Doctors are good profession. Yeah, they all good professions because they're competitive and everyone wants to do that goddamn job.
I remember I applied to the bank. I think I had just got let go from the feds. One of the alumni from the fraternity was like, "Yo, I work at Bank of America. I'm gonna put you in contact with this person. They're gonna let you apply, you do whatever." So I'm thinking, all right, I'm about to start working at a bank, be a bank teller. All right, cool. I get past all that initial part. He's like, okay, yeah, you seem like you're gonna be a really good candidate. So we just need you to take this, do this questionnaire, and from there we'll decide, where everything else. So I do the questionnaire. Clearly, I answer honestly. Not knowing.
How would you steal money if it ever came about and you said yes?
No, I ain't say yes to stealing money. I said I ain't like helping motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me the story. You was not getting that job.
I wasn't getting that job. And so the guy called the guy, was like, hey, I never got a response back. And he's like, oh, well, let me check what happened with your self-evaluation test. Oh, I'm sorry, it was too late. There's nothing we can do with you. Goodbye. I'm like, damn. Not even. All right, look, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see if I can reopen this test. Yeah. Kind of like redo it and see what happens.
You in your right mind was like, I don't like helping people.
Look, they asked the same question like 7 different ways. I got confused. I'm a college kid at 25.
You also an adult at 25.
Yeah, I'm an adult at 25. But why are you asking me, do I like people 7 different ways? Why are you asking that if someone asks me for help, will I help them 7 different ways?
Because at that point, you're in customer service and they need to be firm on their decision if we want to hire this guy. Because the negative stereotype of bank tellers, DMV employees, and the post office people are the angriest people.
Why are they asking me if I see somebody put $1 in their pocket, am I going to snitch? You have to ask me that 7 different ways.
You do. If it's my bank, I need to ask that 10 different ways. Fuck the 7.
I'm like, oh, there's no way that.
Nah, I need to ask that 10.
If I had gotten that job, I would have been a bank teller, and I more than likely wouldn't have left the bank industry. Like at that age, at 25,
would have tried to be a manager of your branch.
Yeah, I'd have been trying to move up. They make good money. Why not? So with that said, I mean, I think all roads lead to what you know you're good at. Am I good at counting money? Of course. I do numbers all. I did numbers for most of my life. Am I good at talking to people? Eh, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss. You know, if it's one of the homies, hey, what's up, fam? You know, whatever. If it's a little QD drink, hey, you know, how you doing today? If it's a regular, ordinary person, hello, how are you? Like, you know, it just depends on who in front of me that day. You know what I'm saying? You know, 25-year-old me, you see a little shorty that cute, of course you're going to be like, hey, you know, what's up? Hey, well, you know, I'm off at like 4. You know, what you getting into? You know?
You know? But yeah, man, I mean, you did touch on something interesting though, like starting at the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I felt that my 25-year-old self didn't know is that what was missing from my experience or my what I knew at that time was that it's better to take an entry-level job. It's better to take an entry-level job at an entry-level organization rather than always shooting for the top-tier companies. You know, as you will, because all I knew was like probably this is where I should be aiming for. These are the only companies that I know of. Not knowing that all organizations at that time, let's just say for IT, is going to need an IT department.
Yeah.
Or something that's dealing with that. Or just even with I'm not too well versed in the math side of things, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, every organization needs payroll, or every organization needs some type of auditing system or something like that. Like it probably was a bunch of companies you could have, like, you know, applied for, even if you had to lead a state or some shit like that.
There was, but I knew the person at Bank of America that was trying to get me in. He was high level in there to get me in.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying in general. Fucked it up.
I just fucked it up. Like, there ain't no way around it. I just fucked it up. You know, me, I fucked it up. But I mean, at that age, yeah, entry level into something, you're young, you got a little bit more leeway than me at 40 trying to get entry level anything. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my age trying to get entry level, they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You got all these years on your butt, you trying to get entry level.
Yeah. I would also tell myself, not that I job hopped, but, you know, this is what I tell myself, which is also crazy too. Even though you didn't job hop, it was possibly best if you job hopped, because you could have developed more experience very quickly than staying, you know, at one company for a long time, hoping and trying to work your way up. But that's another thing that's a myth too. Like, that it used to work for our parents back in the day. Oh, or your grandparents stay at this organization or this company for 30 years. They give you a pension. Jobs are hard to come by. But our generation and younger, they're like, yo, I'm gonna hop around. They're gonna offer me competitive salaries. I'm gonna learn some things, because it shouldn't take me 5 years to master something if I like what I'm doing and I'm good at it. Probably 6 months. Take that somewhere else. Get more money. Get more money. Get more money.
Even that long, shit.
Depending on what it is, I'm saying 6 months. Just because.
Even now, I mean,
yeah.
I got to the department.
I mean, you ain't gonna be a brain surgeon, and you know what I mean.
I got to the department of help. They say, you know, our system's a little complicated. This and this, and I was like, I said, okay, well, let me see the system. And I looked, I was like, this ain't complicated. It's stupid.
It's just stupid.
It's not user friendly. Like, what do you mean complicated? Like, come.
But yeah, man, I definitely tell myself, like, yo, all that shit was a myth. Like, if I would have thought about that, I'm saying YouTube videos. This is how I earn $200K a year because of this, and this, and it was mainly just staying at jobs for 6 months at a time, and just like, all right, it's time for me to move. I learned a bunch of stuff here. It doesn't seem like I'm going to learn anything else. Keep this job until you find another job, but don't do it probably do that a maximum of 3 times, and then look for the place you probably want to try to stay at.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that. That's what I would tell my 25-year-old. So
See, I never really hopped around jobs too much.
Neither did I. I'm just because it was frowned upon. But when we in 27, 30, mid 30s, oh, now that's what everybody's doing. I was like, everybody was doing that? I thought we weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Following the rules and shit.
Now that you say that, because it was
exactly.
A lot of people I knew.
Exactly.
Every 2-3 years, I'm like, oh yeah, man, how you like it over there? So, oh, no, I left.
I don't work there no more. Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm like, you gone? Yeah, nah, I went to another place that offered me more money. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Hey, look, I figured, my mom was a Fed employee. So she, from the time she got out of college and she took the OPM test to the time she retired.
Yeah.
She's been a government worker. There's people at the state, they said they've been there 30, 35 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit. I said, so am I not supposed to stay? Am I supposed to stay?
It was always told to us, stay at your job, get your 401k pension and this and that. That's what was told.
When they tell
and all the people that make the money is the ones that break the norm, break the rules and shit.
When I look at the when I look at people's emails and I see that they don't have a number at the end of their name and they say they've been there 25 years, I'm like, that means you've been at you might not have been in the same position for 20, 25 years, but you've been with the same department for 20, 25 years. Like, I'm like, so I was like, hey, how long you been? Oh, I've been here 25. I've been here 30 years. I'm about to retire in 5. I said, so you only been here? Yep, I only been here in this position. And I'm just like, oh, okay. That's cool. It's like, how long you been here? I said, I've been here since July, but I came from Department of Human Services. And I don't expect to be here too much longer because I'm trying to find my next big payday.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be sitting around making this same money with no one trying to move me out. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you get to like when you get to like your 50s, you ain't really trying to move nowhere for.
Nah, that's what I'm trying to get it all done now.
Yes, me too.
Definitely once I hit 50, I ain't trying to find no new jobs. And if I find a new job, it's to move up.
Yeah.
It's to move up, like to like assistant chief or something, or deputy chief. It's to move up to make my retirement money.
Yeah.
Right now I'm putting into retirement, my 401k and all those other things. But when I move up to that, that's to make sure that when I'm done with working and they start giving me my pension, that I ain't just getting no 35K because they're only going to give you half of what your highest, average of what your highest pay is.
Yeah.
For like 3 years. I ain't trying to get 35. And then, now, at this point, I think they raised Social Security like 67. So even when I retire, even when I'm ready to retire, I got to wait. So it's just like, what do I do?
Yeah. Very true.
I can't be like, all right, 62, I'm done. Because I only have to work till I'm 62. I only got to work till I'm 62. I'll get my full pension. But with getting my full pension, there's no early Social Security is now higher. So that means I got to wait to get early Social Security.
Yeah. I don't know how long I gotta wait to retire. It's probably like 62 as well, 64. But I'll tell you one thing. I would love to have a different career change that pays more than what I'm making now at 50.
Yeah.
It depends. I like just something that's gonna, when I say that pays a lot more, I mean a lot more. Like if I can find that at 50 and just kind of be done with the going into the office type shit, like I got some investments or something that's bothering. Why the fuck not? You know what I mean?
If I can't get into the feds within the next year, then I'm gonna stay with the state for my next 7, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get vested so that for these next. So let's say like within like the year. So like today, April 27, 2026. If I can't get back into the feds, I'm still early in my state career where it won't make or break whether or not I stay or not. It's only 2 years. It's not like I got 7 years under my belt and I'm trying to leave to go to the feds. Nah, if I got 7 years on my belt, I'm staying the next 3 to get vested. But if I can find something soon in the feds, then I will. And I'll dip out and I'll do the rest of my career in the feds doing logistics or whatever else I'm gonna do. But if not, then I'll do my 10 years. Get invested. That means just for the next 7, 8 years, I will just have to grind and try to get as much money as I can so that when it's like, all right, yo, let's say I get to up to like 90 grand, right? Let's say I get to like 90 grand, 95 grand by the 10-year mark. Then that means when I get vested, that's my pension. I might not get it until I get to 62, but I can leave and go get another pension from somewhere. But the only way that works is if I grind it out and get more money and get up to a certain amount to where, okay, cool, I got that, or I got this, and now I can just sit pretty, get money off my 2 pensions, Social Security, 401k, all the other good shit that I've been invested in. You know, or maybe I become a millionaire doing sports betting. Who knows? You know?
No, that's the best way.
Yeah, man. Look, if I can get me a cool $2 million off of one bet, man, give the government they have, you know, pay off the house, give me my brand new car and shit, man. Shit. I wouldn't need to go nowhere. I'd just be like, you know what? All right, so now I have all this money left right here.
Right.
All right. I done paid this house off. I done brought another house. And now I'm making money on this house here that's paying for my lifestyle elsewhere. So
at the end of the day, as long as you're able to live comfortable, it's the when people we want a bunch of things, you know, possessions and shit that be fucking them when it comes to like finances. Because if you let's just say typical life, you could afford to eat out 4 times a week, still have food in the house, vacation maybe 2 times a year.
Yeah.
Spending money for like clothes and, you know, whatever. Some nice cars and shit, or just, you know, some decent cars, transportation and shit. I think a lot of people would jump at that. But, you know, there's always like, I got to stunt. I got to have this. I got to have that and blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like, yeah, you can go that route too. But I ain't going that route because once I'm dead, I'm dead. That stuff, you know.
So I've never been
and then you got a new, you know, the summer collection is out, and then summer 35 collection is out, and your summer 2022 ain't really popping no more. Like it's, come on now.
Yeah, see, because I ain't a flashy person. Like the only flashy thing I got is my bar. That's about it. Other than that, I don't really buy too much clothes. My car is about average. You know, I mean, honestly, look, if I'm really looking at what I have, like as far as like, let's say I was just be making a shit ton of money. A lot of my money doesn't go to clothes and it doesn't go to other things. It goes to like stuff for the house and my bar.
Yeah.
So it might be like, oh man, I can go buy this bottle. I ain't thinking like, let me go buy this chain and buy these rings. Let me go buy this clothes and go buy this car. Cause I'm like, these things, you get those that day. A new model of it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can get let's say I got enough money, I can get me a 2025 Audi with all the bells and whistles, anything that you can have in it is in there, right? The 2026 model's gonna have something I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it you know, for me, I never put that much value on getting cars and clothes and stuff like that because they go out of style, they change, the brand changes, a new thing comes out, and it's just you always burning money on getting those things.
Yeah.
Versus alcohol, unless they say they change the recipe, that shit the same. So I can buy this bottle of pure white Hennessy and leave it in the bar and just chill. You know, like it's to me, and not that alcohol is a good investment, it's not, but it's something that I know is going to ring a bell when you see it. If you see Hennessy been around for decades. Decades.
No.
Don Julio, decades. Bacardi, I don't got no Bacardi in my bar, but Bacardi been around for decades. These brands will be around for a long time, and they're not changing the recipe unless it's bad. They might add a new. Oh, we now have Hennessy XXXO. You know what I'm saying? It's the smoothest Hennessy or whatever it tastes, it costs $200. I might buy that just to put it in the bar. But guess what? That's that one-time investment that I don't ever have to make again. I don't have to buy another model next year because that is the model that is for right now for the next 10 to 15 years. It's just one of those things. But a lot of it is like even if I made that type of money, I wouldn't have it would literally be giving the money to my wife for her to spend.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'll be able to spend all of it because I wouldn't be able to. What? A new house? All right, cool. I wouldn't spend all of it. The latest car of Audi and maybe the latest Nissan Altima. Okay, that's still between the two of those only really $170,000, right?
Yeah.
A house about $400,000 to $500,000. So right there, that's not even $1 million. I give whatever I don't want to spend. I give my wife some. I might give her $50K. She might burn it. She might not burn it. But then I'm still left with this money that I got to do something with, or I invest or however I want to do it. But it wouldn't be on buying clothes and shit or doing vacations. Maybe it might be. I might call Wyndham and say, "Hey, I want 300,000 points. How much it costs? Okay, boom, here, take this off the thing, whatever. Boom. It might be something like that, so we can go on trips for free. Like doing everything in the budget to do shit that we can do for free.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, babe, you want to go on this trip? All right, cool. We just got to pay for the airfare. All right, cool. Whatever. We can pay for that because, depending on when all this happens, we already paid off all these houses. We're saving our money if we agree to let someone stay here, literally 3 times a day pay us and put the money aside for the taxes. Put the money aside for the taxes. Whoever's maintaining the house for us, put that money aside. The rest of that money's in our pocket. Hey, babe, you want to go to St. Thomas? The ticket's about $500 a piece. All right, yeah, let's do that in September. All right, let's get these checks from these people. Boom. All right, go on the trip. We ain't got to pay enough. You reinvent your wealth and keep adding to it.
All right.
So, in theory, that's how I look at it. Now, will I do some hood rat shit and buy something crazy? Maybe. But I couldn't justify it to myself. I wouldn't be able to justify it to myself.
All right. So somebody needs your advice.
I don't know if anyone needs my advice because I was told I have no sort of empathy to anything, and I'm hard to talk to.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Somebody needs your advice. This person is they're 25 and they just want a simple job and life.
Yeah, pull your pants up and get one.
They say why is it this hard? It's fucking exhausting. I am the only one. Am I the only one feeling this way? Like you're not asking for the world. You just want a stable job, a place to belong, something simple. And yet it feels like you had to jump through hoops on fire while solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded just to get a chance. All the do a master's or upskill this or try this unpaid internship advice just makes it worse. Like, bro, when do I actually live? The system is just broken in so many ways. LinkedIn feels like a high school popularity contest. Email is just digital begging at this point, and the 4-stage interview circus for an entry-level job. Like, why do I need to do a thesis defense to become a junior anything? This whole setup is just not made for humans. It's made for robots with 10 years experience at the age of 22 who love networking and waking up at 5 a.m. to meditate and code. What advice do you have for this person?
My advice for this person is stop complaining about being a goddamn adult. And that's almost 40-year-old me saying that. 25-year-old me would be like, I know what you mean, but nigga, stop complaining about being a goddamn adult.
Yo,
I think the person sounded white, but I'm a not.
How you get that from words?
Well, when he said junior level something, What niggas you know looking for a junior level anything?
Me, I was looking for a junior level something.
What?
Junior network administrator at one point in time.
Okay. Well, you looking junior level sales. Like, he look.
Who would? Okay, who would look for junior level sales either?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say gotta be white. But we're going to assume that this person is colorless, and we'll just approach it as in what 25-year-old would do this. At 25 years old, if you've already finished college, the market hard. I mean, you don't know how to really write your resume. You're competing against people trying to get the same position that already are 5 years older than you, trying to do the same shit you do. The only advice I can give that little nigga, fucking lie. lie, and lie some more.
No. That lying shit will catch up to you.
Well, it only catches up if you don't take the initiative to learn it.
Some things that people lie about, they don't have the opportunity to learn it within the time before they get caught. That is a dangerous thing to do.
I'm not gonna say,
it is.
I'm not gonna say I've ever lied on my resume, because we'll just say that I have embellished, that I know how to do something, but I also say that I know the bare minimum. I never say that I'm a master of it. So, like, let's say the payment system that we have at the state, I knew the ground level of it. I knew how to log in.
Mm-hmm. Oh God! I had to think. I'm like, where are you going? And I heard log in. I'm like, oh, that's it.
I know how to hit F1, F2, F3, F4 to get to whatever I need to find. But that's it. I don't know anything else in that system. But the application said active knowledge of the feminist. That's active knowledge. It's like in the movie Basic with John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. You only gotta. It's not how you tell the stories, as long as you tell the story right.
Sure.
Yeah. Think about it. In a perfect world, for this 25-year-old applying to be whatever, if it says you have to have the minimal requirements of these things, right? And you know a lot of things, you have no clue what they are, or you don't know, or in his case, or his or her case, they don't know how to articulate that they've done this, but not in the setting that they've done it. And I think that's where a lot of us fall into that trap of, like, I think on my application to originally get in the state, have you ever purchased anything on a budget or whatever for a state agency or fed government? Well, no, I haven't, because I wasn't high enough to do that in the state agency or the federal government.
Yeah.
But I have purchased, I think the next question is, have you purchased or done procurement? But I have done it in other settings. So it's all in how you word it. You ain't got it. You might have only brought pencils for kids at a tutoring center. You are now a procurement expert, because now they gave you a budget. You brought the fucking pencils. Now you can say that you purchased and planned all this stuff and worked with the budget you had and gave back all receipts. You are now a procurement specialist. It's all in how you tell the story.
I'm afraid to say I agree with you on that one. I'm afraid to say that, because it sounds, yeah. But
that is what this 25-year-old is missing. He's missing whatever experience he has. Now, if he has, or he or she has no experience, because you weren't as fortunate as some of us to actually have to work at a younger age. You have no experience. Your parents did everything for you, and you graduated college. You have no experience. Hey man, you shit out of luck.
Right.
You need to go over to McDonald's. You need to start building some skills so you can embellish what you did for McDonald's and keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like a lot of the kids who do grow up, who don't have to work before college, they're at a very big disadvantage than most of us that had to work, because we can put our experiences at the age of 25. I had already worked at McDonald's. I had already worked at a cleaners. I went back to McDonald's. I already had taught. I had already been a teacher. I had already worked for the feds twice. I've had a mountain of experience that when you look at my resume, instead of you thinking it was 25, you might have thought this person was 35 with the experience that I had. But really, I was just 25. Now, did I have the right tools to write my resume the right way to get a good job? No. But that's something I had to learn. And also, we didn't have Chat GPT.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true.
So it all depends. I mean, like it's just like you talking about this the other day, my boy. How a lot of the women now they lead off with their accomplishments of how they take care of themselves and how they got their own house, their own this, they got their own job, they do this and this, and it's like, oh, whoop-de-doo, welcome to being a fucking adult. Like men do it all the time. Like, yeah. I get it. You rent your own apartment, cool. Or you got your own house, cool. Yeah, you go to work every day. You make 78K a year. All right, great. You got your own car. You pay your own bills. You go on your own trip. All right, cool. Everybody does it. It's called being an adult.
You ain't wrong.
You know, like, and then let me lead off with that. You know, when I was back in Dayton, let me lead off with I got my own car, my own place. I got a job that paid me $80K. I got to also, oh, you trying to get me with money?
Yes.
God damn.
Yeah.
Really, I'm trying to show you I'm an adult.
Listen, the only thing I can say to this young person is like, yo, start to think outside the box. Because that's the only way. That's what, in my experience, as we were talking earlier, as far as like how people have been able to further themselves than other people. They throw it outside the box. How, like, for an example, how we were staying at one company for a long time or whatever have you. They was like, fuck that. If I need to get the experience, if this company's only doing this one thing and this other company's doing something different, I need to work at both. So I need to work at both. Like, I'm not saying that should be what you should be doing. This person's obviously trying to find a stable job, but you might have to think outside the box to get that money first. Not drug dealing, selling your asshole.
And stable is a very relative thing because stable to me might not be stable to them.
Exactly.
To me, stable means I ain't getting fired. That's stable to me.
Well, yeah.
That I'm gonna get a decent enough paycheck to live on my own. Now, to them, stable might be that it's a certain dollar amount. They're gonna get increases, but that's not stable to everybody. Like think about all the people that work at the state that've been there for years. I mean, decades. Like they done seen different administrations walk into their departments. To them, that's stable. And a lot of them are so low on the totem pole, they make about as much as I do, and I just got to the state.
Yeah.
So to them, they're stable. They can pay their bills. They can put groceries on the table. Ain't nobody fucking with them. They just riding the shit out.
Yeah.
To them, that's stable. So when you say stable, you have to be very, very specific about what is stable to you. He wants a stable job. Oh, McDonald's is stable. They don't fire nobody.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they do. You got to fuck up for real. But
yeah, you do.
Even when they fire you, they bring you back if it ain't that bad.
True.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Listen, think outside the box, young person.
Yes, think outside the box or put into since now you got Chat GPT as a 25-year-old. You look, 15 years ago, I ain't had no Chat GPT. I had to pay somebody to look at my resume and tell me what Chat GPT could have did. And then at that, they might not even did a great job. I still might not got a damn job. and then you would have still had to pay that resume writer $50 to about $500 for them to work on your resume.
Yeah, I remember I was gonna get my wife one of them because one of her friends knows someone, but a friend of a friend is dating this girl basically,
Right.
And she does that, and she gets people who have spoken highly about her, and she's got people numerous of jobs with which she decides to put on the resume, how to word stuff. And the rate was $200. I was telling my wife, I was like, "Yo, I'll pay for that shit if it means you gonna get a better job doing that time or whatever." But she ended up getting a job before I could spend the $200. Thank goodness. But so I was like, shit. When I'm looking, I might have to holler at old girl, be like, "Yo, IT resume."
You ain't gotta do all that.
I'm not doing the ChatGPT thing because everyone's doing that.
Well, so my boy, so I remember I told you I was trying to get the Northern Grumman.
Yeah.
And so I put my resume up. Northern Grumman called me, right? And they asked me to send my not my Indeed resume, but my official resume. And I was like, okay, well, that's easy enough. So I send it. I'm trying to take stuff out and everything else. But if I had ChatGPT, I could have looked and narrowed down what they were looking for and had them spell it out for me better. Like my boy who just got into Northern Grumman doing warehousing, he was like, he put it in there and it gave him this. So then he put what they put there to make it more specific so that it really captured what he did so he didn't have to lie about it. So he sent me what he did, and I looked at it, I was like, that sounds like exactly what we did when we worked at that warehouse. I said, that's crazy. And he said, yeah. So I try to make it as specific as possible. Like what everybody's doing with ChatGPT right now, they're just taking the broadness versus getting it
the keyword.
Right. Instead of getting it very specific so that it don't sound like ChatGPT.
Right.
And honestly, I think that these employers they want ChatGPT so that they can. Honestly, I kind of think they do. I kind of think they like the ChatGPT because now they ain't got, they reading the shit and what it is. But why would why wouldn't you use it?
I hear you.
It don't say on nobody. It don't say on none of those companies' resumes or applications. Please do not use ChatGPT. From what I can tell, everyone that's used it is working nice paying jobs. They say, oh, they frown upon it, but you got a job. They ain't frown upon about too much.
Yeah. You ain't wrong.
Hey, look. Like who I forgot who said it. It ain't cheating if you don't get caught.
Yo, don't say that out loud.
It ain't.
I say that out loud. Yo, listening, you don't know what context you saying it in. Like you will be texting me like, yo, man, that fucking episode we did.
It all depends on who sees the YouTube of this or whatever. And then they'll put a meme up of your wife asking you about who this bitch in your phone. It ain't cheating.
I'm using this as a clip. I'm just letting you know.
I'm just saying, but that's the only way I
got you. I'm fucking with you.
If they listen to the whole thing,
they're gonna understand the concept of what the fuck you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, but that concept goes, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, goes to a lot of things.
Yeah,
it ain't cheating if you don't get caught. It's not a crime if you don't get caught. It pretty much, it ain't nothing if nobody catches you doing it.
You still throwing your hands up like you just.
I'm just saying. Look, I know a chick. When I was working for the U.S. Stockpile, she wanted to get on the client side to where like she was a contractor for CDC, and she's like, I was like, so from what I know about you, you worked in retail and at Costco's your whole life. What made them think you were qualified to really do what you're doing? Oh, I lied.
Yeah,
I lied. But no, that's a context you can put anything in.
Yeah.
If you don't get caught, hey, look, if they can't catch you that you did something wrong, hey,
it's only a crime if you get caught.
Yeah, it's only a crime. I mean, think about it. Look, I know you watched WWE wrestling back in the day. So remember when Stone Cold won his first Royal Rumble, right? Stone Cold got thrown over the top rope. He was eliminated. The refs didn't see it. He rolled back in that motherfucker. You know who eliminated him? Bret Hart. He rolled back in that motherfucker. He kept fighting. Eventually, he threw Bret Hart over the top and won the Royal Rumble. I'm just saying. I know it's scripted.
It always results back to wrestling. Always.
I'm just saying, but it makes sense, don't it?
Perfect sense.
You know, he ain't the only one that's been thrown over, and because the refs didn't see it, got back in. X-Pac did the same thing. He got thrown over one time. X-Pac got thrown over. He got thrown over one time and nobody saw it. He rolled right back in that motherfucker.
No.
Was one of the last fours. He didn't win, but he rolled back in that joint. So I'm just saying, you know, I tell that 25-year-old, hey man, look, time to be an adult.
It's time to be an adult.
It's time to be an adult. Hey, look, you want a stable job, I get it.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to take a job and work your way through it. I mean, the job is only as stable as dedicated as you are. I mean, that's what it boils down. Like, you could work at a place that is a big turnover, but if they like you and they know you're hard working, you're dedicated, they can get rid of you. They're stable there.
Yeah.
You could practically almost get away with murder. Like when I was at the stockpile, once they were like, yo, yeah, nah, DeLaw's the guy. I could have dropped $100,000 pallet on the floor and would have got a slap on the wrist. As long as it wasn't vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Vaccine's a little different. Yeah. Somebody's head got to roll for that shit.
Might even go to jail.
Sure. Nah, as long as I ain't take it out the facility, I ain't got to go to jail. Now, I couldn't drop a $1 million pallet. I couldn't do that. That's different because that's a vaccine that's probably saving somebody's life, and then we got to spend that money again. That might be a write-up and or termination.
Yeah.
But for certain things, I'll get that leeway of, nah, we can't get rid of him. Just give him the write-up, let him know don't do this shit again, and keep it rolling. But let it be something else or somebody else. They be walking out the front door. So the job is only as stable as much as they like it as. Until you become obsolete. And sometimes they just keep you around because they're like, we like you a lot, you're older, blah, blah, this and the other thing. And
never get kept around because they like me.
Me neither.
It just never happened.
They tried to. Like when I got my job at the state, they tried to be like, you might want to stay after this. We're making everybody full-time here. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool. I mean, hooray.
Hooray. Yeah.
I mean, because the way I had to look at it was I was making a certain amount with the stockpile. And when I got my first check from the stockpile, my first check from the state, it was less than what I was making at the stockpile. Was it less? It was not less. It might have been around the same amount, maybe a little more. But it wasn't enough for me to be like, man, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, in retrospect, if I had left sooner, I'd have been making 10 grand more. But because I left when they were about to make everybody full time, I technically was making 10 grand less.
Yeah.
So that's just, the reality of it. Now I'm making 5 grand more than what I was going to be making at the stockpile, but I'll take that.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can make more and I can keep advancing, but we want to keep you on board because, we really like you. And you ain't got no retirement plan here. We ain't got no contract. Y'all want to keep me here until it's time to go. And then I got to go find a job. I got a wife.
You got shit to do.
I got shit to do. I can't, mind you, if I stayed, my old supervisor, he found a job somewhere and he was like, yo, he'd have been like, yeah, come with me there. And I'd have went with him there because I needed a job. Then he would have left somewhere and been like, look, come with me here. I left and I'd have gone with him there and got myself stable there. So
You could always choose to say no.
Yeah. But it's one of the things where when I looked at it, I was like, if I had stayed, would I still be better off? Looking at it now, yeah, I would. I would not better off. Would I have still been all right? Yeah, I still would have been all right. But would I want to take that gamble?
No.
I wouldn't want to take that gamble because who's to say that the stock has been closed for since last year, since last year January.
Damn.
Who's to say that I would have found a job by then? Who's to say I wouldn't be working at McDonald's trying to make, or gone to a tutoring company trying to tutor? Like, who's to say that I would have found something?
Yeah.
So I took the first thing smoking, and this 25-year-old might have to do the same thing. But once you take the first thing smoking, you now become marketable because it's like having a girlfriend. Other people start seeing, okay, well, he's hired by this person. I wonder what let's bring him in and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like, if you don't have a job or you don't have a girlfriend, you're not appealing to nobody. It's once you get those things that you become appealing to what you're trying to get. You're trying to get a better paying job, you got to have a job.
Right.
You want you meet this girl, you want to meet other girls. Oddly enough, you got to have a girl. you can get out with it. Because think about, like, how many times we had got a girlfriend and some chicks that you ain't know, like, oh, that's your girl? Oh, she cute. Like, I didn't know you had it like that. Like, I want to know what you working with. Now they curious.
They're missing out, but you was already missing out when you ain't give me that chance. Exactly. Now I'm gonna have to dig down your friend just off
GP,
just off the terms of the game. Mm-hmm. Not even you, your friend. I need you to hear about it even more. I need you to do what Megan did to Kelsey and fuck with Tory Lanez, even though my own girl. I'm not even gonna say allegedly because that's what happened.
That's what happened. I didn't even say allegedly because that's what happened.
Don't kill me. I already know how the internet is. Hey, it's all jokes. But.
Hey, look, Tory doing this sentence like a G. So, he doing it like a G. And honestly, I think he's innocent. But that's neither here or there.
All right, y'all. We thank everybody for tuning in. DeLaw definitely wants to smoke by saying that. We don't know what's what, and you know how sensitive people are to that. So we're gonna end the pod right here. We thank everybody for tuning in, and see you guys next time.